Okay, so for tonight's class, we are going to start on our backs. And you can go ahead and find any comfortable form for yourself. You might choose something that you don't normally choose, like maybe extending your legs upward or placing your arms in a different orientation. And I'd like to start by sharing with you a Wendell Berry quote. He writes, "And so I go to the woods, as I go in under the trees dependably, almost at once, and by nothing I do, things fall into place. I enter an order that does not exist outside in the human spaces. I'm less important than I thought. I rejoice in that. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief, and for a time I rest in the grace of the world and am free." Really just love this line. I'm less important than I thought. I rejoice in that. And so, in what tends to be a chaotic time of year, this month of transition between seasons, if it holds truth for you that things tend to get a little stressful or chaotic, you might invite in that thought of the bigger world, the larger scale of the universe. Perhaps even picture what it's like to stare up at the night sky. And notice if there's any weight that can be lifted from you simply by observing how vast this world is, how very small we are. Whether holding on to that or not, let's begin to bring awareness to our breath. You might begin to deepen your inhale, finding more expansion front to back, side to side, and top to bottom. And exhale, feeling things draw inward, feeling that last exhale air come out. A couple more times, nice full inhale. Perhaps you even sip in a little bit more air at the top of that breath. And exhale fully, let that go. Last one. After this exhale, let your breath return to a more natural rhythm. And you might introduce just a little shake of your head side to side. See how many of the muscles of your neck you can keep soft while you do this. And then if your eyes are closed, you might leave them open. We're going to bring our hands palm face down outside of our hips. Land your feet under your knees on the mat. And on an inhale, lift on up into a bridge form. Pausing here, feeling the bottoms of your feet evenly press into the mat. Feeling your shoulders on the mat, the back of your head on the mat. Wait for an exhale to lower back down. Inhale, let's lift it on up again. This time you might lift a little bit higher, inviting a little more opening into the back side of your body. Again, check in with your feet. Are you pressing down through all four corners evenly? And release. Last one, we'll inhale to lift it up. Lift as high as you would like to. Maybe bring your arms up overhead, introducing a slightly different sensation. And exhale, lower your hips on down. From here, we're going to roll to the right side. Tuck your knees up a little bit so you have this nice solid base. You can either rest your right ear on your right arm or you can catch your head with your palm. From here, let's lift the feet up off of the mat. So insides of the feet are nice and together. And your bottom leg, the thigh, is on the mat. From here, we're gonna clamshell open this top leg and then close it again. And you're just finding this pulsation here, going as far as feels good in your body. And try to smooth out the movement so you're not rushing through any part of it. Notice what happens in your glute as you're doing this, that activation. You can even bring a hand to your glute and just feel that. And we'll continue this for 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release down to the mat. Let everything soften. Maybe take a moment to wiggle through your hips a little bit. It can be kind of intense when we really isolate these muscles. We'll kick the top leg out and then turn the toes down as much as you can toward the ground. From here, it's kicked out at about a 90-degree. And we're going to tap those toes down and then lift on up. And tap and lift. We're just finding this movement, again, isolating but to a different muscle. Same muscle group, different muscle. Smooth out the movement. Notice when you want to rush through a part. Let there be an invitation to be through the entire range of this motion equally. We'll continue for 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and set that leg atop your bottom leg. Let everything soften and release. Borrowing these movements from one of my teachers, Lydia Zamorano, and they're a little spicy sometimes, even though they seem subtle. So if you're feeling that, notice that for yourself and feel free to make adjustments that feel supportive. All right, we're going to extend the top leg back now. And for this one, I'd invite you to drag your elbows so that you're facing the back edge of your mat, propped up on a bit of a sphinx form. And from here, your toes are still going to point down toward the mat, and we'll lift and lower. Lift and lower. Again, just bringing it to a slightly different location. Activating all these specific muscles before we have an option to kind of soften into them later. You might continue this for 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and let that leg land on top of your left one. This time, from our forearms, plant your left fingers, reach your right arm under, and open up into a supine twist. You might again rock your head side to side if that felt good earlier. And then as you feel ready, you can roll your way over to your left side. I'm going to flip around so that I'm still speaking to the camera and not the wall. But you don't need to do that if you don't want to. And you can prop your head up however you'd like. And we'll start with the clamshell. So feet hover and that top leg opens and closes. Let yourself be curious here. It might be different than the other side. Maybe it's easier, maybe it's harder. Smooth out the movement. And you might continue this for 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and soften your legs to the mat. Let everything go. Maybe wiggle through your hips. When you feel ready, your top leg can come out to a 90, but angle those toes down any amount. And we'll start to lift and lower here. Observe what comes up. And there might be frustration, there might be intrigue. Let whatever is there be there. And for you, your job only to be observing it, knowing that whatever it is, it's welcome. Doesn't need to be pleasant to be okay. You might continue this for 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release again. Let everything fully soften before we go to our final movement in this set, which is to extend that leg straight back, come up into Sphinx arms, and with your toes toward the mat, lift and lower, lift and lower. Find your pace. And you might continue this for 3, 2, and 1. As you land that leg atop your other one, this time right fingertips crawl out, create space for your left arm to go under. Roll your way open to a supine twist, second side. Shake out your head, maybe. Soften through your jaw. From here, you can lift your legs up and extend them up toward the ceiling, coming into a symmetrical reclined form. And then arms can reach back up above you. We're gonna find little rocks along the length of the spine. Reaching your arms up just kind of works as a counterbalance. You can try to kind of grab your toes, maybe getting a little bit of that plow pose form here. And then eventually, we're gonna let this rock progress all the way up to a seated form. From here, inhale your arms up tall. Exhale, let's twist to the left. Draw those shoulders up, down, and back. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale to twist from the navel. Inhale, unwind, arms reach. And exhale, twist to the right. Shoulders up, down, and back. Again, inhaling to lengthen. Exhaling to deepen the twist. As you inhale, unwind, arms up. Exhale, let's lower right hand and reach over with the left. Inhale brings us back through center, and exhale straight to the second side. Let's do that once more each side. Inhale up, exhale to the right. Inhale up, exhale to the left. This time as we inhale up, hands can find your knees, and we're just gonna take some circles of the torso over the legs here. Starting to get a little bit more movement, a little bit more rhythm at play. And switch directions if you haven't. Come through neutral. And from here, step your feet about as wide as your mat, maybe a little bit wider. We're gonna go hands free, lower your knees over to the right, and then take a little dip forward. Inhale to lift it back up. Knees come through center. Drop over to the left and take a little dip over that knee. Lift it back up once more each side. To the right. And to the left. Back up through center. Hands come back behind you. You can point your hands straight back or have them at an angle. Draw your feet to be hips distance apart, and on an inhale, let's lift those hips on up. Reverse tabletop form. Try to find some distance between your shoulder blades so that they are broad and strong at the same time. As you exhale, lower your hips down. Move your hands a little bit wider so they're as wide as your hips. This time, point your fingers to the front edge of the mat. Inhale, lift it on up. And this time, as we exhale, we're going to shoot our hips between our hands, but try to hover the sit bones any amount. Okay, once more. Inhale, lift. Exhale to hover. Maybe you lift your right heel, lower it. Maybe left heel, lower it. Inhale, back up, and exhale, let your hips lower all the way down. Take a moment to circle out your wrists, inviting some energy in, some heat perhaps. And then as you feel ready, we're going to have the opportunity to use some rocks to get all the way up into a forward fold of the front edge of the mat. So take your time or method in getting there. Maybe you want to take one rock, maybe you want to take a couple. But we'll all meet in a forward fold. On an inhale, halfway lift long spine, look forward. Crawl your hands to the outside of your right foot. Bend that knee extra as you straighten your left leg extra. And maybe find a little pulsation there. Letting that knee kind of bump into sensation and away from it. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, over to the second side. Same thing, bend that leg extra. Straighten the other one extra. Maybe find some pulsation there. Inhale, come back through center. On your exhale, fold all the way down. You might catch opposite elbows. Really let your torso hang heavy. Notice for yourself if you want to straighten your legs and kind of shoot your hips back in space, or if you want to bend your legs and let your ribs rest on your thighs. It's just going to change where you feel the sensation. Neither option's better. It's just what maybe feels best in your body today. One more breath in. Exhale, release your hands. Inhale, come all the way up. Overhead, catch your left wrist with your right hand and exhale, lean to the right. Inhale through center, switch your grip. Exhale, lean to the left. Inhale through center. On the exhale, fold it down, fingertips on the mat, right foot steps back. Lower that knee as you inhale, your left arm open. And exhale, left hand comes back to the mat, left foot steps back, plank form. Rock here a little bit, back into your feet. Maybe you're even pressing the mat away. Almost, your hips might lift a little bit to get this into your calf muscles, that's okay. And then you might rock forward, kind of getting into your wrists. Let's explore here. And as you're ready, lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale to pull it through, cobra form. Shoulders are drawn back, but are still wide on the back side of your body. Exhale, release. Claw your hands mat distance apart, tops of feet and pelvis into the mat. Inhale, lift your abdomen up again. This time really press into those fingertips as your shoulders draw down and back. If at any point you feel your shoulders coming forward, lower yourself enough that you can draw them back again. We're wanting to prioritize the quality of this movement. As you exhale, left shoulder lowers, look toward the right. Inhale up through center. Exhale, lower right shoulder, look left. Inhale up through center. Exhale, let it go. Find your way up and back, downward facing form. On an inhale, right leg reaches high. Exhale, knee toward nose or forehead, hips stay lifted. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee toward nose. Inhale, extend. This time as you exhale, really round that knee in and step it toward the front. Lower your left knee, chest, chin up. As you exhale, left foot forward, find your fold. Inhale, half lift, long spine. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, rise all the way up. This time as you exhale, hands are going to come down to your hips. Press into your feet from up through your legs and invite in a gentle back bend. Hips forward, heart up. Hips forward, heart up. Think of throwing your chin back in space. Shoulders are still broad on the back side of your body. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach up and exhale. Swan dive it down into a forward fold. You might keep your arms lifted if you'd like, maybe interlacing them behind your back, letting them hang heavy. Or you can have your hands come down towards your legs, maybe creating contact there. One more breath. Inhale, fingertips to the mat, long spine. Exhale, step your left foot back. Lower that knee as you inhale, right arm open for a twist. And then exhale, headed to plank form here. Find your plank. This time we're gonna add some shoulder integration. So from the top of your plank where you feel strong and steady, we're gonna add in a scapular push-up. So your arms are already straight. You're gonna just really create extra space in your shoulder joints and then come back down to steady. Extra space and steady. So your arms are staying straight the whole time. It's just happening around the shoulder socket. We'll continue for 3, 2, 1. Lower your knees, chest and chin. Inhale to pull it through for cobra, second time. This time, let's lower halfway down. Press into the mat and then pull back. And then maybe press a little bit more and pull back. Press and pull. Press and pull. Shoulders are down but broad. You might draw your chin gently back, recruiting the upper portions of your spine. And as you exhale, melt it down. Nice eccentric lower. This time from here, we're going to hang out and isolate some movements. So you might stack your palms and rest your forehead. We're going to press the tops of the feet into the mat, pelvis into the mat, and then lift your belly button away from the mat. On an exhale, lift those legs, just the legs, and then lower. Lift and lower. Continue to find this lift and lower, really checking that you're still pressing down with your pelvis and lifting up with your belly button. It's just a way of protecting the low back. Lift and lower. Last one, we're gonna lift. At the lift, go ahead and flutter kick for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knees, windshield wiper side to side. Go ahead, let those legs come back out behind you. Same engagement, tops of feet, pelvis, belly button. But this time, hands come out to the sides. We're gonna keep the feet glued to the mat. And on an inhale, lift just your abdomen any amount. And lower. Lift and lower. Find your pulsation. Tops of feet, pelvis, belly button. Scanning through all of that as you do it. We'll go 3, 2, 1. Pause here. Alternate which arm you're going to reach forward, which arm you're going to reach back. Swimming this locust, so to speak. And melt it down. Let it go. Wiggle your hips out. Go ahead and curl your toes under. Press your hands and knees into the mat. Feel your belly button lift. And then decide if you want to lift your knees and go through a push-up, or if you want to use your knees to get to hands and knees and then up to downward facing. From here, left leg reaches up on an inhale. Exhale, knee toward nose, hips stay high. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, extend. This time, exhale, bring it in, step it through. Lower your right knee, breath in, look up. And exhale, right foot steps forward, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to hips, second standing back bend. This time, as you set up, you might begin to crawl your hands down your glutes or down the back sides of your legs, if that feels okay. You might try to bring your hands out to the sides. Inhale, lift it up, reach up. Exhale, real big bend in your knees, dive it forward. This time, reach your hands back, like you're grabbing at the wall behind you, creating that active compression in your abdomen and your legs. And then from here, inhale, halfway lift long spine. Exhale, fold it all the way. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Shift into your right foot, come up onto your left toes. We're gonna lift that knee up. On an exhale, kick that leg out, and then inhale to bend it. Exhale to kick, inhale to bend. Last one, exhale, kick. This time, inhale, bend. Go ahead and hinge it forward. Find your way into a warrior 3 form. Balance on this front foot. Think of rotating the toes of your top foot down. And then slowly lower that leg. Inhale your way on up, high lunge. All right, from here, we're gonna play with pulsing into a reverse form of this lunge. So right leg straightens, left leg bends. And then back. Left leg straight, right leg. Right leg straightens, left leg bends. And back. All right, last one, we're gonna hold it here in this weird reverse form. Bring your arms down, see if you can integrate any amount of heart opening here. Chin back, shoulders broad. Inhale to come back up, high lunge. And exhale, let's twist it open to the right. Maybe lower your back hand to your back leg. And come back through traditional high lunge. As you exhale this time, frame out your front foot. From here, we're gonna lower the left knee and then exhale, rock it back toward a half split. Inhale to bend. Exhale to straighten. Twice more. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Last one. When we straighten, we're gonna hold here. Option to have hands on either side of the leg, on the leg, at your hips. Whatever feels best for you. Just keep thinking right hip back, left hip forward. Use your breath here. Notice how on an inhale, your breath kind of makes space in your body. And on the exhale, maybe you get a chance to move into that space, make a little adjustment. One more breath. Let that breath go. Bend into your right leg. Plant your hands, curl your left toes under. We're going to kick this right leg up and back. And then from here, lower your left elbow. Slide your right hand back in line with it. Oh yeah, guys, we're getting weird. Exhale, right knee toward right elbow. Inhale, press into your hands, kick that leg back up. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale, kick it back up. Last one, exhale, right knee, right elbow. Option to stay right here or to lower your head inside of your right wrist and maybe really squeeze right heel to sit bone, hop your left toes in. And then act like you're grabbing a pencil with your left toes. Keep that leg nice and active as you lift it up. Funky little forearm, headstand, arm balance, hybrid. Lower your left leg if it's lifted. Now here's the trickiest part of all this. Press into your hands to lift your head back up. Kick that right leg up. Curl your hands to a downward facing form. And then rock it forward to a plank. Move through your vinyasa. Knee back in a downward facing form. From here, we need to make our way to the front edge of the mat. And you know, we're trying to be playful tonight. So we're gonna step our feet about a footprint forward and closer together. So my big toes are actually gonna be touching. And then shoulders are gonna rock over the wrists. And the first thing you can do is add in that scapular push-up that we did at the start of practice. So you're really pressing them out of the way as much as you can. You might tiptoe your feet in a little closer. And then from here, we're just gonna bend the knees and heel kick. And you can control how much your shoulders are over your wrists or back from them. Still press them out of the way. But if you're back here, right, it's very predictable that you're just hopping and landing. But you're pressing them out the whole time, even when you come down. If your shoulders are up here, then you're kind of maybe working towards some hang time. When you're ready to stop, just hop to the front edge of the mat and inhale, rise all the way back up. Exhale, hands out at your sides, palms face forward, Samasthiti. Take a moment of pause, scan through your body. Hopping is energizing, inverting is energizing. You might feel a little different right now than you did a few minutes ago. And as you're ready, blink your eyes open. Draw your hands to heart center and shift your weight to your left foot. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale, kick it out. Inhale, bend. Exhale, kick. Inhale, bend. Exhale, kick. Inhale, bend. And tilt it on forward. Find your warrior three. Back leg is lifted, toes are pointed down. Slow lower down to high lunge. Breathe the form for a moment. And then we're going to make it weird. We're going to straighten the front leg and bend the back. And then reverse back to tradition. Switch the bend. And back to original. Switch the bend. Back to original. This time switch the bend and pause. Let your arms come down by your sides. Lift through your heart. Maybe draw your chin back. Invite in a back bend. Inhale, come back up traditional. Exhale, open twist to your left. Maybe you reverse it by lowering that back hand. And unwind, traditional high lunge. On your exhale, frame out your front foot, lower your back knee, and pulse it back. Half split, second side. This time it's left hip back, right hip forward. Move in and out of that a few times, letting your body warm up to the idea. Eventually, if you feel like it would feel nice to hold it, you might make that choice to do so. Bringing your hands wherever it feels most supportive for you. Use your breath again here. Are you breathing by default, or is there a way to become aware of it? And a way to utilize it to change the experience of this form? One more breath in and out. Use an inhale to bend back into this leg. This is where we plant those hands and curl back toes under, lift that knee. Inhale, kick the left leg up. From here, lower the right elbow, Slide the left hand about in line with that elbow. We're gonna exhale, left knee toward left elbow. Inhale, press against the mat, lift it back up. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Last one, exhale, knee to elbow. Pause here. Option to stay right here, working the strength, or to lower your head inside of your right wrist and maybe squeeze left heel towards sit bone. Pop your right toes in. Act like you're grabbing a pencil under those toes to keep that leg active as you lift it. If it's lifted, lower. And then all of us are gonna press up and back. Move your hands to a traditional down dog form. Rock it to a three-legged plank and move through your vinyasa. Once you're in a downward facing form again, let's lower both elbows. Really press into the mat. You can soften your knees and kind of reach your heart toward your thighs. Or you can really keep your sit bones lifted toward the ceiling behind you and let your heels grow heavy. You might lower your heels to one side and then to the other. Back through center. Lower your knees. Come to a seat on your heels, the back edge of your mat. Pause here. Let there be space for whatever is arising in your body right now. Maybe in your mind's eye, you connect back to that opening imagery. How vast this universe is. How much of a relief it can be when we consider our impermanence. When we consider our smallness. Maybe there's an invitation there. To just show up unabashedly as yourself. So as we move into this next set, remember that you're always welcome to make choices that are different from what I'm offering and to explore in whatever way feels good to you. So let's go ahead and lift up to a lifted kneeling form. Press into your knees, firm up through your legs, and we'll find a kneeling back bend. Hands might be at your hips. As they move forward, your heart lifts up. You might crawl them down to your legs. You might bring them to your heels. One more breath here. And then use an inhale to ease your way up. And then from here, we're going to shift toward our left knee, kind of hovering the right leg out and stepping it out to the side. From here, find a few pulsations. I like to have my arms out to a T here, pulsing in and out of this right leg. Maybe you find a place that feels good to linger. That might involve resting your right arm on your right leg or bringing your right hand down inside of that foot. Left arm can be up toward the ceiling. And check your chin. We tend to kind of keep it jutted forward through most of our daily tasks. See if you can draw it back. Keep a really neutral neck along with the softened jaw. On an exhale, let's bring both hands down to the mat. Crawl them equidistant away from right foot and left knee. You can kind of send your hips back or forward any amount. As you curl your hands back in, we'll come back toward the center of the mat with them. And we're just gonna drag this right heel with us. All right, curl your left toes under, lift that knee, but then roll to the outer edge of that foot. Inhale your right arm up, figure four side plank. Really reach up through your hips. Let your body be an arch. And then as you exhale, lower your left hip all the way to the mat and look back toward that foot. Inhale to lift it on up. Press into your right foot, arch through your body. And exhale, look toward the back. Once more, inhale, lift. This time, we're gonna really press into the left foot, maybe grow light in the right foot, maybe extend it up for a bit of a star plank. And then as you exhale, right foot's gonna come toward the front edge of the mat. Let it land wherever it does. Bring both hands inside of that foot. Lower your left knee, breath in, lizard form. And exhale, straighten both legs any amount. Maybe lift your right toes for this kind of abducted pyramid. Inhale toward lizard. Exhale toward pyramid. Once more, inhale. And exhale. This time we're going to inhale back to lizard, but we're going to pause. You might choose to stay right here to work your torso closer to the mat. Maybe to catch this back leg. You can be hearing movement or in stillness. Gently begin to release wherever you are. From here, knee stays lowered this time, but we exhale back with the hips, right leg still straight, and it's abducted half split. Might feel a little different than your more traditional half split. You can always kind of crawl that heel, maybe even off the mat away from you, keeping it at this abducted angle. But just checking that your hips are still square toward the front edge of the mat as you do so. Find your edge today, if you would like, knowing you don't need to go there. And ease back out. And from here, left toes curl under, lift that knee. We're just gonna pivot on our feet. You might even kind of adjust how near they are to each other. As you crawl your hands halfway to the right, to that long edge of your mat. Check that both sets of toes are pointed forward, your right leg is in front. Bring your left hand anywhere on your right leg that allows you to have a straight-ish spine. And then inhale, right arm up for a twist. A little balancey. Notice what happens if you kind of press more into that right leg versus let it bend. You find a sensation that feels of interest in your body. Gently release your right hand, bend into both knees, and we're going to lower down so that we're in a cow face form. Generally, we're just looking for both sit bones on the mat. This top leg can be at whatever angle it needs to be at to facilitate that. You can catch your ankles, nice long spine. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Perhaps tuck your left elbow outside of your right knee. Create a fist with that left hand and press your right palm into it. Inviting a twist into your spine as well. On an inhale, gently unwind. We're going to look toward the front edge of the mat. As we unwind, you can kind of reposition your back leg, and then your right leg comes to match it. And what do you know? We're back to kneeling at the back edge. Ready for that second side. But you might first take a moment to just scan through and notice, do you feel that difference right now? Energetically, can you sense the difference between left and right? A glorious invitation to just get to be present with what is. You don't have any agenda here. You don't need to be anywhere, to do anything, to accomplish anything specific while we're here. Just get to observe. So you're ready. You might blink your eyes open, maybe arms come out to a T again. This time we're stepping the left leg off to the left, turning those toes away, and then finding this pulsation in and out of that leg. Next time you pulse into it, if you want to linger there, you're welcome to, however that might look for you. Remember to check your chin if you're in a side angle form. Try to keep it neutral and your jaw relaxed. Soften both hands toward the mat, equidistant from left foot and right knee. Let your torso grow heavy. So you inhale, you can kind of turn your back. How do I say this? How did I say that again? Turn to face the front edge of the mat. Drag your left heel in with you a little bit. Curl your right toes under, and then drop to the outside edge of that foot so that you're in your figure four side plank. Again, really focus on lifting, which really means that the side of your body that's facing the mat is really contracting. And then as you exhale, lower your right hip and look toward your back foot. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. This time we inhale, lift. Really press into your back foot. Drag your left foot in, maybe liberate it up for a star plank. And then left foot's gonna step forward to the front edge of the mat any amount. Both hands come inside of that foot. Inhale for lizard form. Exhale for that abducted half split. Find your pulsation with your breath. Oh, that's not what we did. I was like, this feels different. Inhale for lizard form with lifted knee. Exhale for the abducted pyramid form. Sorry. Once more. Return to your lizard, this time lower the knee, and decide how you want to be here. Maybe working your abdomen down, maybe binding this back leg. Gently unwind. This time we'll set up for the abducted half split. Option to stay here or to slide that heel on the diagonal. Getting to wherever you get to. Focusing on letting your hips stay square. Use your breath here. Breathe out. From here, we're going to curl the right toes under, lift that knee, and then begin to pivot on your feet as you crawl yourself halfway to the left. So left leg is in front, right hand can come anywhere on that leg as you extend your left arm up toward the ceiling for a gentle twist. And again, you might experiment with bending and straightening, with kind of gently squeezing your inner thighs together or outer hips. Just noticing how that affects the sensation. As you feel ready, ease out. Begin to bend your knees, lower down between your heels. Even weight on your sit bones, catch your ankles. Exhale, hinge at your hip. Maybe tuck right elbow outside of left knee, create a fist. Press your left palm into it. Inhale to ease out of the twist and unwind your way to the front edge of the mat. This time we're actually going to bring our legs with us so that we're in a seat with legs extended. Maybe take a moment to shake out your legs. Point and flex your toes. And then when you feel ready, invite just a little soft bend into your knees just so they're not locked out. Toes can flex back. Arms come up, create a long line from fingertips to hips. And as you hinge forward, keep that line for as long as you can. As soon as you feel it begin to break, let your hands come down on your legs or outside of your legs. Maybe your head hangs heavy. And then inhale, ease your way back up. And from here, we're going to roll all the way down to our backs. So you can let that happen vertebra by vertebra. Nice controlled lower. And then right ankle to left knee for a reclined pigeon form. Find movement or stillness. You can use the muscles of your core and of your legs to kind of create some resistance here and think of pressing the right knee away while drawing the left knee in. Or you can loop your hands around your left leg and use your right elbow to press your right knee away while you, with your hands, draw your left knee in. Go ahead and extend arms out to a T. Lower the unit of your legs to the left, giving yourself a moment here in the supine twist. And then back up through center, we'll switch the legs out. Left ankle to right. You're going to create that resistance in some way. Arms to a T, let your legs lower to your right. Gently bring your legs back through neutral. Knees in toward your chest. Let's catch the far side of this right knee and extend your left leg out. Take a moment to draw that knee in toward the right side of your ribs. Paschimottanasana, or wind relieving posture, which is a really great one for settling some of that nervous energy in the body. We think of as our wind element. As you're ready, swap it out, second side. Same thing. Bend your left leg out. Give your legs a shake. Let your body find any other wiggles or movements. As we prepare to close tonight, if you again have been enjoying that imagery of our smallness as humans, you might draw to mind some sort of visual that evokes that for you. And the key here is to not get carried away into a narrative or to assign too many words, but rather to stay in that feeling part of the brain. And just feel what it is. You know, our existence here is really so much of our own choosing. All of the power we have tends to be in the interactions with people that we're around the most, not on the global level. So maybe there's some permission you can offer yourself. That in mind. Time has wandered, gently invite it back to the space. You might begin to deepen your breath or otherwise invite in signals to your body, preparing to leave this moment of stillness. Begin to make your transition to a seated form, allowing yourself any stops along the way. Thank you for sharing this practice with me today. Might you carry the strength and the softness cultivated around the mat out into all that you do. Namaste.